Welcome to our video on the new functions in SHARPEN 5. We're working with the professional version here. I've already loaded a picture, which is a little blurry. It's unfortunately a little out of focus, but we're going to take a look at that. So, what new features can we find here? We've made a lot of changes in the raw module. We've added the new artificial intelligence category, for instance. There's a separate video on that. Best to check that out as well to find out everything you need to know about the raw module. Of course, there are also some major changes in image sharpening. To show them, I'll try out our new interface here, which you can now customize. Let's close all the areas for a second. I'll turn on the magnifying glass, the new super sampling, and the sharpness area. Let's go to that and just sharpen the image automatically in the usual way. Let's take a closer look. We can see the usual image using the sharpening engine, which has been improved in SHARPEN 5. We also have the new export and import areas for all the sharpening settings here. If you configure a sharpening setting that you really like, it makes it easy to export and import them to apply them to another image. There are also new oversampling levels, and in multi-directional sharpening there's a new quality level and an option for performing your calculations with artificial intelligence or a neural network. If we zoom in on the image a little more here and take a look, this was the original, this is the sharpened image. Now let's activate second level multi-directional sharpening as well. Then we can see we just have made the image a whole lot sharper with that. If I now switch off the artificial intelligence and switch the program back to the algorithmic mode, then the normal mathematics are applied to commute the image. Keep your eye on these light edges here. When I switch the artificial intelligence back on, you can see how the image looks better and more appealing there when we use the neural network. Another huge change in our sharpening engine is the new super sampling feature. I'd say this is probably the most significant change in the image sharpening section of the program. This super sampling is available in multiple levels. Let's set it to the 2x level here. We can then see that the resulting image is much smoother overall. Let's find an area here maybe. I'll switch that back off again. That's the sharpening without super sampling. We can see there's a certain lack of smoothness due to the residual noise and residual artifacts in the image. If we activate the super sampling, let's go to 3x now, then we can see how these areas and contours settle down much more. This is because the super sampling scales the image up with a really high quality algorithm, then sharpens it and scales the result back down to the original desired resolution. That gives us very clean and sharp images with much smaller sharpness halos in particular. So much less of that. We can set this to the highest level. Now we see that the contours become much cleaner. Nice smooth edges. This is how the original image looked. I'm holding down the right mouse button. This is how the sharpened image looks. That's a really significant difference already. And as I said, the super sampling scales the image up, then sharpens it. However, this means that sharpening with the super sampling activated in the calculation needs much more time. What else is there to discover? Let's switch off super sampling again and maybe upload another image. I'll do that using the history viewer here. Let's go to the beach. The weather's better there. Let's switch the interface on the right off again and turn on the magnifying glass, selective drawing, the LUT module, which you can now find here, and the AI filter module, which we preset with the AI filter program. Here we've the self-trained AI filters, such as the vintage filter, which we trained together in one of the AI filter videos. You can apply them from this program too if you want to. Let's turn that off again. I actually want to take you to selective drawing and show you what the new mask functions can do. There's a new masking function here. I'm now in composing for masking the sky. Let's click on it once. Now 3 levels are suggested for us: weak, balanced and intense. I'm going to choose the middle one and we'll just mask the sky with the aid of a neural network that we trained. And as experienced users will notice, something has also been masked here at the bottom, because the AI said, yep, that looks like the sky too here. And what you can also see is that the masking is extremely clean in these very fine areas. That's something neural networks are really good at. If I switch off the masking here, you can see how precisely and beautifully masked that is. Now let's upload a sky for it. Let's switch to the full aspect quickly. Set the sky to the original scale. And the reason we have this masking down here, I'll put the color back in for a moment. We can see this slight yellow showing through. We see why this isn't an issue for us very quickly. If we now position the sky, let's move the sky up. It's too far. This is where it ends. We have to position it on the horizon. And since the sky only goes as far as the horizon, we don't see any of the bottom of it. We could always erase the mask in here without using contour recognition with a slightly smaller brush, or simply by using the eraser. That's very quick and simple, and the problem's now solved. It's really easy to correct it by hand. The important thing is to ensure that all these fine structures and these gaps are masked, so we can swap the sky above them with a lovely new one. I'll turn the exposure down a bit so they match each other. And now we have a really beautiful new sky and a great picture. Hopefully I've whetted your appetite for the new SHARPEN 5. I hope you enjoy trying it out.